niggas that I love, so I be going through it. Told me that you got me G.O.D., then I'ma hold you to it. Had to learn from my mistakes, cause ain't nobody coach me through it. Whenever it was time to go, know that we gon' go and do it. Lost a lot of niggas that I love, so I be going through it. Told me that you got me G.O.D., then I'ma hold you to it. Had to learn from my mistakes, cause ain't nobody coach me through it. Diamond died, it's been a decade, it don't feel that long. He ain't see the age of 21, he didn't live that long. Mama Red said, it don't feel like I've been in the pen that long. My code is simple, die about it. I can never get that wrong. A lot of times I stare off into space and visualize your face. Flock's dead, Renee dead, forgive me God, I lost my faith. I got blood on both my hands and wiped them right across my face. I got rid of all my guns with bodies on them just in case. Itty bitty got a good heart, the kind you wish you had. Shoot at all my empty cars, that type of shit'll get you mad. Pop a nigga, he survived, that type of shit'll get you sad. In the pen like, I'ma catch a body when I hit the pad. Ask the streets, all the niggas stamping, niggas be with me. Every hood and sack got dead homies cause they beef with me. If he ain't body by the time my supper come, you niggas weak. I was young, they took my brother, I'm forever incomplete. Whenever it was time to go, know that we gon' go and do it. Lost a lot of niggas that I love, so I be going through it. Told me that you got me G.O.D., then I'ma hold you to it. Had to learn from my mistakes, cause ain't nobody coach me through it. Whenever it was time to go, know that we gon' go and do it. Lost a lot of niggas that I love, so I be going through it. Told me that you got me G.O.D., then I'ma hold you to it. Had to learn from my mistakes, cause ain't nobody coach me through it.
The homie don't got me like you say you do on the phone, and I'm the one that put you on. Slid for you with this pole, sitting in the bounty when they told me Lord James was gone. I wish you would've went down with it instead of going home. A nigga in a cell to the neck, feel like I'm on my own. This murder on my mind and I ain't wrong. My cousin geek and gone. Whenever it was time to go, you know the shooters went to do it. Caught the sucker slouching in the coupe and started shooting to it. I lost my little brother to the streets, then I start to lose. Now Lala gonna tell the truth. I don't know how Ruger do it. I know my brother going through it. Just keep the oxygen polluted. I got you like you got me G.O.D., and I'ma hold you to it. Had to learn from my mistake, cause ain't nobody coaches through it. It's bulletproof, no shooting through it. The love is fake, they don't pursue it. I got you like you got me G.O.D., and I'ma hold you to it. Had to learn from my mistake, cause ain't nobody coaches through it.
Whenever it was time to go, know that we gon' go and do it. Lost a lot of niggas that I love, so I be going through it. Told me that you got me G.O.D., then I'ma hold you to it. Had to learn from my mistakes, cause ain't nobody coach me through it. Whenever it was time to go, know that we gon' go and do it. Lost a lot of niggas that I love, so I be going through it. Told me that you got me G.O.D., then I'ma hold you to it. Had to learn from my mistakes, cause ain't nobody coach me through it. Listen at the same time. Nigga rich, still stressing like you're doing time. I'm a product of my circle, niggas moving fives. Pillow talking, come up missing, happen every time. Every time you see me, I be full of ice. It's coming up the house I live in, we ain't had no lights. Take flights when I want to, shit is paying off. 50 on me, clip look like something hanging off. I'm bred for this shit, man, you can't tell me nothing. I ain't have it and you had it, you ain't fed me nothing. I had to break it down to sixes when I got the bird. My brother died, I sent killers when I got the word. I ain't nervous, niggas got the nerve to try to rob me. Wrong house, wrong car, them little niggas sloppy. Niggas caught me leaking, I'ma give you that. But you ain't kill me, I'ma kill you when I get you back. Money.
I like, cause there ain't nothing pretty. Yeah, somebody finna die, feel it in the air. Count your blessings if you wake up in intensive care. Take a walk in my sneakers if you can fit a pair. It ain't no loyalty or merchants, but I've been aware. Niggas in prison making yeekies out of silverware. Reward ready, SK the thing, military. Bet you his body drop when it penetrate. I see you clutching, but what you trying to insinuate? Killers throwing light, but the snitches ain't. Trying none the pain, finna sip an eight. Run the top of the yacht, but let a nigga play. The bitch gave me the play on where you niggas stay.
That bitch with the booty and want me before I...
Damn, that hurt.
Trey 5 money bags. What's up with my nigga? Triple M on the beat. I ain't on it. Suicidal thinking, plus I hardly ever sleep. Revenue control part your circle, it was weak. Cartier diver, shorty, everything is fleek. When you thumbing through 100 cash, everything is cheap. Shoulda saw it coming when them niggas tried bag me. I ain't had my seat recline, them niggas woulda had me. A nigga rise, we gon' drop him like draws. Nigga born pussy couldn't buy a set of balls. Chopper got balls, that's the Cinnabon effect. I'ma see your courage when a couple come to neck. Stupid war ready, niggas know to come correct. Or that talking out your cheek is just gonna get you in a wreck. Ocean blue laser.
Hey, what's going on, Pat? Hope you doing good, bro.
Repeat 'em on some blue shit. Clip longer than a flute, I pollute shit. That's that nigga that you dick riding if I shoot shit.
I'ma slither through the slums on my piece of cues. Gotta have a thing on me, that's just mandatory. You ain't got one shit, well that's a different story. Stay at home, cause nowadays niggas is getting buried. And at the big park is
Just got out of court, bro. Oh man, I hope everything went good for you. Definitely hope everything went good for you, bro. You know that courthouse is no place for a targeted individual. That's for sure. Looking for a car? Oh, that's what's up. Hell yeah. Good shit, bro. I went to jail like 2 weeks ago. Man, you never lied, bro. About what? As far as the jail, what do you mean? Yeah, that shit's no joke, man. I hate that shit, man. Hell yeah, you already know. You already know. I'm on it. This is the only way I can stay sane, bro, is fucking smoke. From the time I wake up to the time I go to sleep. Like, it's the only way I can deal with these motherfuckers, man. About the courthouse? Oh yeah, about them doing the signals and shit in the courthouse. About them doing all the signal shit. Oh yeah, the courthouse ain't no place to be. Yeah, yeah, man, that's no place for us, man. It's like, oh, we got, yeah, exactly, exactly. Besides, well, besides God and the rest of the Ti family, man. But on our solo shit, you know, shit, God and marijuana, man. God helps us navigate through it. Marijuana helps us deal with it. You be sleeping good. Nah, I mean, like this weather right here, man, I sleep good in the morning. Like, nothing can wake me up in this type of weather, but when it's hot and shit like that they're fucking noise campaigns. I don't know why shit works like that. But like in this weather, excuse me, that's legitimate. In this weather right here, oh man, it's like I'm dead. I love this weather. This is my favorite weather right here, man. Yeah. Oh yeah. So what's up with your court shit, man? It's looking good for you? Trying to take me to counseling for raging about gang stalking. Oh man, see, that's why you gotta stack your evidence, bro. They can play ping pong with you with this bullshit that they be doing, man. That's what that's the type of shit, man. Oh man. And then you gotta go to this class, and then this class is probably gonna be full of them fuckers, and then on top of that, the counselor is probably finna be one of them motherfuckers. It's like, damn, man. The catch-21 like a motherfucker. Look at this, sitting the guy with the rainbow hat. No! They cannot do it. It won't happen. They be trying to trigger me with that shit, man. It's crazy. Oh yeah, dirty as fuck, man. Evidence is everything, man. Like the pen is mightier than the sword, but in this case, it's like the camera is mightier than the sword, because they, basically it's us against them. I don't too much know your history or nothing like that. But like for me, like, we'll just use me as an example. Like I have a criminal past and shit. So if I don't have evidence and I'm up against these motherfuckers, you know, it's their word against mine. It's their word against mine and shit. So, you know, it's like evidence is like super. Evidence is super crucial, man. It's super crucial for us, for those of us who have. Well, it's crucial for all TRs, but you know, especially for us that, you know, have been in those courtrooms and had to fight cases and shit like that. Like, they do not look at the one tail light trigger. They do not fucking you know, they're not gonna listen to us. Like, you gotta have evidence. It's their your word against theirs. They're taking theirs automatically. There's no need for even to have the trial and shit. Like, don't even go to trial. Like, it's you feel me? These motherfuckers, man. But you know, the best advice I could tell you, man, is go in there, man. If you can, get some type of fucking hidden camera type shit, like a button or some shit like that, and just get their ass, man. Get their ass and throw them on TV. Let the world see. Like, that's, give them their 5 minutes of fame. Eventually, because too many of us are like getting fed up with this shit. It's a lot of us getting fed up with this shit, and like, you know, it's gonna get to a point to where shit's gonna get messy. Like, I can already feel it, and then it's gonna bring some recognition. It's gonna bring some recognition to this program, and you know, shit ain't gonna last too. Look at the VTA guy doing the trigger, the dead man trigger. That's the VTA van right there. That white van in front of whatever, that motherfucker. I guess y'all see it on a replay. Oh, they still. Oh, wait. Man, the attorney don't even talk to us. No, man, they're not going to, man. You gotta fight your own shit. You gotta fight your own fucking shit. Yeah, Paul Bunyan looking motherfucker. Touching all on yourself, you. Yeah, they're not gonna, you know, public defenders, in actuality, like, that's their main fucking heart's mission, is to become district attorneys. Like, that's it's fucked up how the system works. You, like, they're giving you practicing district attorneys. So the lower they can get, I mean, the most, if they can con you into a lot of time, if they can like, say your case only carries like say you got a petty theft and your case only carries like fucking, a year or some bullshit like that. Or not even a year, like fucking a couple months. You feel me? If they can talk you into taking fucking 5 years, oh, they're gonna do that. They're definitely gonna do that. And their favorite thing to do is, don't talk, let me do it. Let me handle it for you. Don't. Like, they used to get mad as fuck at me, like, bro, like, they'd be like, don't worry about it. Don't worry. I tell him, like, he's not even bringing, you're not bringing this up. He'd be like, don't worry. Like, fuck that. Like, the judge would have to tell me to be quiet and shit. And then, like, they don't work for you, bro. The best process, if you're not actually in jail doing time, and sometimes if you are doing time, it just depends on how bad, how much they're playing with you. Usually when you're locked up, they're gonna play with you even more because they know you want to get out, so they're gonna play with the time. They're gonna offer you all these high fucking. It's easier to beat a case when you're on the streets than it is when you're locked up, because they like playing those fucking mind games and shit, because they know you want to get out, and you're pretty much gonna take damn near anything. You're gonna pretty much take anything they throw at you, just so you can do your time and get out. So you got the best process, like if you're locked up, is to fire your fucking public defender. You fire them 2 times, and then they'll hire you like a panel attorney. And then the panel attorney does maybe not the best job, not no real attorney job, but you know, they'll do a better job than a public defender. Public defender ain't shit. Like, literally, like, you could do your own fucking homework. You could do your own homework and get better time than a fucking public defender will get you. You just gotta, oh man, you just gotta fucking bite the bullet and, you know, get with your shit and hit that law library. And that shit right there is just, the process for that is crazy. Jail is hell, definitely, man. No doubt about that, man. No doubt about that. Look at Chips. Domestic terrorists on bikes. The 2 domestic terrorists on their bikes. Domestic terrorism. Terrorists on bikes. Can you play Apple? Apple, what's that? I'll be on the verge. Yeah, man, and that's this program is like that, bro. They like how I look like a damn. They like how I look like a damn snitch. What? They like how I look like a damn snitch. I don't know. What you mean you look like a snitch? What you mean? What it look like? What I look like a damn snitch? On your phone, the app? I don't think I got. I don't have an Apple phone. I got a Android. You know, Freemasons are atheists. Yeah, Freemasons. Oh wait, you know they all Freemasons are atheists. Oh yeah, definitely, man. Definitely. Nobody who believes in God, unless they don't know their fucking shit, like unless they're not fucking really with the shit that they talk about, you know, is gonna do. For one, you know, no one can judge you except God, man. None of these people can judge you. Like, these people have no fucking authority over you. Like, who the fuck do these people think they are? Like, their shit shines gold? These motherfuckers shit don't shine gold, man. They got pride. They do worse shit than we've ever done. Like, they do worse shit to us than we've ever done in our fucking lives, pretty much. I mean, I know they do worse shit to me than I've done in my life. I know that for a fact. Shit. I've never fucking stabbed anybody. I've never fucking through all, like, I've never stabbed anybody. I've never been stabbed before, bro. I've never been, like, I've survived fucking prison riots. Over 3 fucking prison riots. I survived over 3 fucking prison riots. Not necessarily like me being involved, but like, you know, when a prison riot goes on, you know, it don't matter if your card is involved. Like, everybody's fucking, you know, it's crazy in there. So you know, you gotta fucking, if it's like the whites going at the Mexicans and shit, like, we might not have, like, the blacks might not have nothing to do with it, but, you know, we might get caught in the crossfire. We might catch that fucking bullet, like, they might, you know, because, you know, when they shoot, you know, there's no, like, if say they're shooting at the people fighting and they accidentally hit me. There's no, like, when we go inside, we gotta sign, like, there's a contract we signed that, you know, anything that happens to us that, you know, they're not, it's saying that basically the contract states that, you know, they're not, if anything, like, if we gotta sign our death certificate, basically. We sign our death certificate and a thing stating that, you know, we understand that legally we are under slavery and shit. Like, you're like, they, it's crazy. They literally make you sign slavery papers in your death certificate and shit. So you gotta do all that shit. And like, if they shoot you on accident, like say there's Mexican fighting a white, and I get shot in the crossfire, like the blacks have nothing to do with it. You know, they just happen to have bad aim and they shoot me. Like, nothing happens to them, and then they mail a fucking a bill to my family and fucking tell my family that they gotta pay them $1 for the bullet that they used to fucking, that they wasted in me. Like, that's how fucking that's how fucked up the prison system is, man. Literally, like, they'll fucking accidentally kill you and then mail a bill home to your family member and tell your family member that they owe you $1, that they owe them $1 for the bullet. Like, it's crazy, man. But that's veering off. Saying all that to say, man, I've survived prison riots, fucking, and just all that shit, man. To fucking be on the street and get stabbed by some fucking crazy lady, man. Some fucking crazy lady that I've never met before in my life. Like, this is how fucking wicked this fucking program is. It's wicked as fuck, man. Can you play iTunes? No, I can't really play shit in here unless I download it, because it'll collide with the app and shit. Like, you know, it takes the mic volume off, or like if you tell me like some songs to probably download or something, I can download the songs and then I can play them like that. But as far as like, they have to already be downloaded. They dead inside? Hell yeah. The police harass constantly. Oh wait, hold on. Harassment at its finest. You think they're not here for you, but they are. Yeah. Yeah, that's the thing too, man. I know in the beginning, look, this is his second time coming around. It's the second time coming around. He really trying to trigger me. That motherfucker did a loop. One headlight loop. Yeah, man. You try and give some of these motherfuckers the benefit of the doubt. Because, you know, the program, look at the one tell. It's crazy. You try and give some of these motherfuckers the benefit of the doubt. Partially because you don't want to be blaming everybody. You know everybody's not a part of it. And, you know, you be trying to do all this fucking weird shit and give them the benefit of the doubt like they're not a part of it. And, you know, when you do that, man, you know, you're just taking away from the reality of this shit. Because I know I used to be like, man, I know all these people ain't doing this shit, man. I know they're not. Like, I know it's not all these fucking people. But when you go against that and shit, you start questioning your sanity, man. You start questioning it. Like, I went through that shit big. In the beginning of this shit, like, I was questioning the hell out of my sanity. Like, people would walk down the street, like, it'd be, like, just, you know, oddball people, like, older people 60 years old. I'd be walking by them and they call me a bitch. They'd be like, bitch. And then I'd turn around and I'd be like, nah, hell nah. And then I'll be like, man, why would you do that? Why would you do something like that? Like, why would you call me out my name? I didn't, you know, I would do that, and they, you know, I would only come, like, I would try and be respectful to the older people like that, and I would come at them like that. I'd be like, you know, why would you call me out my name like that? Like, that's, you know, that's not cool. Like, I never did anything to you. And then, you know, they'd be like, what are you talking about? Like, I don't even know what you're talking about, man. Like, they'd be, you know, I'm such and such age. I don't got time for all that mess. Get out of here. Why are you starting trouble with me? That type of shit. And then if it be a motherfucker like his age, a younger motherfucker and shit, they be calling me bitch, and I flash. I be like, man, like, what the fuck did you say and shit like that? And I'd be like pretending like they're crazy, and you know, it might be somebody that I know, and they'll fucking say something under their breath, but I'll catch it. I catch what they say, but they say it so low under their breath that it's plausible deniability to where, like, if I say something, they could be like, nah, what are you talking about, man? I've known you for a long time, man. Why would you think I'd do something like that to you? Like, they fuck with your mental so bad. So, you know, you you know, I found myself fucking really fucking, you know, wrestling with my sanity and shit. Like, man, am I fucking going crazy? Like, you know, I got fucking homosexuals walking up to me fucking smiling and shit. It's like a whole different world in the beginning and shit. Like, shit that, you know, people would never fucking do. Like, they fucking just, it's like they're raining and shit on you. It's like, he does it, she does it, he does it, he does it, he does it, she does it, wherever the fuck you go. Then they start mentioning things in your life and shit, bro. It's, man, the insanity of this program. The insanity of this program. Like, you can't doubt yourself. If you have a gut feeling that one of these motherfuckers is targeting you, man, one of these motherfuckers is targeting you, and, you know, it's better to be safer than sorry. Like, don't fucking question shit. If you hear it, if you fucking see it, you know, that's what you saw and that's what you heard. You're not delusional or none of that fucking shit. And, you know, these people are going to try and convince you as much as you can, as much as they can, that you're delusional, and that they, you know, these people, all I have to say, man, is their shit don't shine gold, man. As much as they try and make us think they're, you know, the almighty ones, they're not the almighty ones, man. They might got a little money in their pockets, you know, all that shit, but money is just an object, a tool to fucking survive. Like, money does not have anything to do with the person that you are. You could fucking have a fucking $1 billion in the bank account and still have shit stains in your drawers. Like, you're nothing special because you got a lot of money. You live a better life, maybe, but, you know, that's just the life you live. That has nothing to do with the person you are. These people are fucking, you know, when they cast out all this fucking bullshit on us and shit, when they do all this shit, and then they have an excuse, they make up an excuse for the reason why they're doing it, for whatever reason they fucking created in their fucking heads for doing this shit. You know, these people, you know, they have the same type of hang-ups and shit. Like, these people ain't perfect. Nothing perfect about these people. In fact, a lot of shit that they accuse us of is the shit that they do. Like, it's the life that they live. Police harass constantly. Definitely. they dead inside. Yeah, man, there's, they're definitely dead inside, man. This is San Jose, Silicon Valley, right? A lot of these people have so fucking much money, bro. It just makes you wonder, like, you got all this money, like, why wouldn't you, like, be into something else? Like, why, like, what type of shit is this? And I'm not talking about money from, out here is just like a whole different world, man. All these techie motherfuckers and all that shit, like, it's a lot of shit to do out here. Man, you could just, why in the fuck would you fucking chase people, follow people around, humiliate yourself? I don't get it, man. It's just a sick bunch of people, like, they call us mentally ill, but these people are literally the ones with mental illnesses, the police and all. Like, you gotta literally fucking think, for the police to participate in this shit, like, who's the real fucking criminal? Like, they're literally putting criminals in badges and shit, man. How the fuck is that right? Like, a police officer can kill you and get away with it, can try and frame you and get away with it, can lie in court and get away with it, can fucking stalk and harass you and conduct domestic terrorism on you and get away with it. But if you fucking jaywalk, or some bullshit like drunk in public, some fucking non-violent bullshit, you gotta go to jail. Like, what the fuck? Like, where does it, if I wanted to fucking pursue a criminal life, I should have became a cop. I got in the wrong fucking profession. I thought hanging on the street selling drugs and shit, like, I thought that shit was fucking criminal. I should have just became a cop, and then I could have got away with everything. I could have got away with every fucking thing. Yep. The real fucking criminals, man. I just seen a thing on YouTube the other day. This one cop, and this is literally, he trains cops. This cop trains cops for this, like, for field sobriety tests and shit. This dude was lying on people. This dude was literally lying on people, saying they were on drugs, locking them up, and he was the top fucking cop for that part of the field as far as the sobriety tests and shit. And come to find out, like, 3 people came forward and said this dude lied on him and shit, like, that this dude, like, he said they were on drugs, made them take the test, they passed it. This is the same shit they did with me. Made them take the test, they passed it. And then when they went to court and shit to fight it, like, when they went the intake. He wouldn't take the blood. He wouldn't give him no tests, like no biological tests like blood or hair or none of that shit. So no way to prove, it was just his word against theirs and shit. They bailed, literally, like, luckily they bailed out in time enough to go to a toxicology and get that shit done for themselves and shit and fight that shit in court. And then the dude, he's still on the same job. Like, this dude is literally, they still got him out in the field, man. They still got this dude out in the field. Turn your lights on, dum-dum. I'm trying to give you little death threats. You good? Chill out. Alright, there you go. No fighting, dude. Cut it out. They're funny, man. They're funny with their bullshit. Fucking tears motherfucker's fingers all in it. Took him out, but he had his fingers all in his mouth, sucking his finger and shit. Fucking nasty motherfucker. And that's another thing they do. They like doing a lot of gay shit. I like doing a lot of gay shit. Sometimes they sing gang. Well, I'm not gonna call them gangbangers, but you would think they are. You would think they are by the way they look and how they act. You would think they're like gang members and shit, but they be acting all gay, talking gay and shit. It's really fucking sick and weird and twisted. Like they throw, and this is no offense to anybody, your lifestyle or any of that. Like definitely no offense to that. I'm just pointing something out. They love to fucking, they love to do fucking shit like, they like to fuck with your how would you put it? Your mental state. Sheriff, can you please call off your domestic terrorist? I do not want to be triggered by one headlights. I do not want to become a VTA guy. You guys are messing with people's subconscious. You know those are psychological triggers, officer. You guys are making people kill people out here with those psychological triggers. And it's not right. People are dying. You guys are psychologically warfaring people. Domestic terrorism is illegal. What you guys are doing to people with your predictive policing is illegal, officer. Predictive policing also has a racist algorithm, officer, and this is all documented. You guys can't keep harassing people. You're making people go crazy and kill people and kill themselves with your domestic terrorism, officer. oh, okay, I think I missed this. They still trying to set me up. Yeah, man, I think I missed that comment. Set me up. But yeah, man, you just gotta maneuver these motherfuckers. I guess you could say that's the best thing. Maneuver through this shit the best way you can. And you know, it's definitely not no ignoring you. You can't you can't ignore them. Oh yeah, oh wait, hold on, let me see, hold on. So it's all directed energy. Psychological effects on stalking alone. Oh yeah, I definitely gotta check that out. Like that's the type of shit. Like I'm into now, like the effects of the shit that they do, the science of it. Like I've been on that, like, so there's no way that they can wiggle out of it, like, you know, try and wiggle their way out of fucking try and make a lie up or say anything to what this program is for or what they were doing it for. For instance, if I go to court, they say, no, we weren't domestically terrorizing them, we just keeping all that shit. I want to know, I want the fucking effects of what they do. Like that, they might can switch up why they were fucking doing it, but they won't be able to switch up like the science of it. You feel me? Like it don't matter why you were doing it, whether it was for good or bad. Like, you know, the psychological effects that it takes. You know, it's no wiggle room for them. Like once you get that shit, like once, oh man, once I can master that shit, man. Once I can fucking, like, I know the triggers and shit. Like that's the one I've been really fucking. That's what I've been really looking up and paying attention to, like on YouTube lately. Is like the triggers and you know what all that shit. So I've really been looking that shit up. That one sounds good. That one sounds good. You know, you gotta set your mind up in this program. It's fucked up. It's fucked up. Say, for instance, say you meet somebody. Say you meet somebody as far as like relationship or something, like female-wise. Like you could really like that person. You could really, really, really like that person. But you pretty much gotta numb yourself. Not so much towards that person, but you know, you gotta keep numbness in you in order for, if that person flips on you or for some reason you guys fucking split because of this shit, like you have to be able not to give a fuck. Like literally, like no matter how much you feel about that person or anything, you gotta fucking literally be prepared not to give a fuck. And when you think about that shit, like, even that shit, man, like, literally, like, not only are they, like, they're turning us, like, I don't want to say cold-hearted, but in a way, it almost seems like we're on some cold-hearted shit, like, shit that, you know, well, for me, I'm gonna say me and shit, because you know that's pretty much like I have to be prepared to fucking whatever attachments I have, any type of attachment, I have to get rid of. Like I have to be prepared, you know, to fucking deal with the you know, whatever comes with those attachments, like as far as negative shit, like, because you know, you're not gonna be able in this program, you are not gonna be able to navigate right, like literally, like you're not gonna be able to navigate right, man, if you do not if you have feelings, if your feelings, like you can have feelings for something, but it's like you have to be and as hard as it may sound, to some it may even sound impossible, but you have to be willing, and you know, you have to be willing to fucking drop all your feelings for any type of attachment that you have. Like it's crazy, it sounds hard, like you know, even like, and I think just my life period, me being in group homes and foster homes and all this shit, this, you know, just childhood fucking bullshit, lightweight trauma type shit. Like, I think like it's easier for me to do that shit because, you know, I've been in several fucking foster homes and shit like that. So, you know, you become attached to fucking people. You become attached to you know, you're young and shit. You become attached to, you might be with one family for like 2 months. You come attached to them and shit. And then you fucking get stripped away from them because it's only like a temporary foster home and shit. Then they put you in a receiving home, and you're in the receiving home for like 6 months, and you got all these fucking people coming in looking at you like you're in a fucking dog pound and shit. And then you fucking eventually grow friendships in there. And then fucking as soon as you grow a friendship, they fucking strip your friend and take him to a foster home. And then the process just fucking goes on and on. So I guess when you're young, it's easier to do that shit. Like, you know, and it's sad to say, like, I'm even like that with family and shit. Like, you know, it's fucked up. It's like weird. It's weird. Like, I love my family. Like, I'll do anything. I put my life on the line for them. But like, if they cross me and shit like that, I fucking just, you know, I don't look at them the same. Like, it's easier for me to, you know, it's crazy how, I don't know how that shit works, man. It's some psychological programming, though. I know that for sure. Because, like, these people, you know, they know the science. They know the science of what they do, man. You know, they know the exact science of what they do, and putting the kid through all that shit, putting the kid through all this fucking bullshit and shit like that. You know, they know exactly what that shit is doing. They know for sure that kid is not gonna be right at all. I'm just glad I didn't become no fucking weirdo, like no fucking murderer or no shit like that, no serial killer, no shit like that. Yeah, man, but yeah, certain shit though, you gotta be prepared to fucking just let that shit go, man. Cause trust me, it'll cost you more. It'll cost you more fucking heartache, pain, whatever you want to call that shit. It'll cost you more of that in the long run. Especially a relationship, man. You can't have feelings for someone that's playing yo-yo with your brain and shit. Like, that shit don't, you know, that shit don't go. That shit does not go. You better off, you know, I don't recommend it. I don't say you go do it, but, you know, you better off messing with some type of fucking Nah, I'm not even gonna promote that type of shit, but have you some flings or some shit like that, if you will. But yeah, man. Or just be be prepared to fucking don't play with your brain, don't play with your heart. Do everything to protect your emotions in this program. Everything. Because that's, in the long run, that's what's gonna get you, your emotions are what's gonna lead you into the wrong direction. And your emotions are what's gonna fucking either get you in jail and make you kill one of these motherfuckers, or, not necessarily kill, but do something to them. I think they do. Not only do I think they're doing this to a lot. I'm not sure how many of you guys have had trauma in your life, like, trauma so bad that you can remember it. That type of, like, whether it was, I don't want to venture off into your traumas or anything, but, anything that, was harsh in your life that you remember. I think they're doing that to a lot of us as well. Like, they're trying to, I think they might be trying to see, like, what it takes to fucking break us, or, like, because all the people, they know that I've fucking been in institutions, and they know my whole life. The government knows our whole lives, from our fucking, from what school we went to anything that's fucking dealing with government, like as far as group homes, jails, foster homes and shit. Like, they know all that shit. And I think I'm wondering if they choose, like, a lot of people by the traumas in their lives and shit. If that has anything to do with their fucking agenda. Like, is it easier to fucking make us crack? Is it easier are we easier to fucking, are we better organic time bombs, basically? They want the best time bombs out there, so shit can just pop off and they can trigger us and fucking whatever agenda, like taking guns away, so they fucking just trigger us to start shooting up shit. Fucking whatever. Like, are we the fucking easier ones? But it would seem like that it would seem like the person who's never been through anything, I mean, in my opinion, I would think the person that's never been through anything trauma-based, like, would have a harder time dealing with it and might crack easier than a person who has fucking, sustained that shit in life. Like, because the way they hit us, the way they be hitting us is, like, so hard and so vicious and shit. It's like they really want to make us do something, like, really, they really want us to do something bad, man. They want us to be that VTA shooter. They want us to be another Myron May. They want us to be another Navy Yard shooter. And it's like, the more blood is spilt over this shit, it's like they're thirsty for more. Like, it's almost like some ritualistic bullshit, man. It's like, and this is just my opinion, I'm not saying this is what it is, but it seems like it's like some ongoing ritualistic bullshit that keeps them fucking, whatever fucking agendas. It's like a blood flow almost. Like, they, people, they steady it's a constant blood flow, man. People stay dying in this shit, and it keeps all these fucking, you know, it keeps all these entities fucking paid, as far as like fucking, you know, corporations and all that shit. All these people getting paid off of us, man. You know, off of us acting out of our character behind shit that they're inducing. Whether it be some fucked up frequencies, whether it be voice to skull, whether it be the fucking following you around and the psychological warfare, like, fuck, man. I'm telling you guys, man, and I can't say it enough, man. I swear, like, we need to fucking come together and, you know, I don't want to be fucking sounding like no Malcolm X or anything like that, but we need to be like on some by any means necessary shit, like, for real. Because this shit is only gonna get worse, man. Especially when the fucking, you know, as much as we try and point this shit out to people and they ignore it, like, they're gonna be sensitized to, like, this shit happening. Like, they're just not gonna give a fuck. Just as long as it's not happening to them, they're gonna be okay with it. Like, there's gonna be no fight over this. Like, the only fighters we have in this shit for us is us, man. And this, you know, it's only gonna go as far as we let it go. You know, it's either gonna become a big fucking tumor, or we're gonna recess this shit. That's the only way I feel. That's the only way I believe that it happened. Like, you know, people say, let's just kick back and let God take care of it. If you don't let God take care of it, you don't have faith in God. But that's not true. Like, God, you know, God, I believe God has our backs. Like, God is gonna be there with us. Like, I don't think he wants us to sit there and fucking just wait on him. Like, you know, I don't think God, you know, wants us to fucking just fucking take this shit like this. Like, we're supposed to fucking be learning from this shit and you know, fighting this shit the best way we can, and prevent this shit happening to more decent, you know, good people and shit. Like, these are literally demons and shit. Like, God don't want us to sit here and let fucking demons just keep fucking smacking us on our fucking face and shit. Like, this is a fucking war. Like, literally a fucking spiritual war and all that shit. So, I don't think we should be sitting on our asses and shit, you know, taking slaps on the cheek and just dealing with it. Like, I think God is fucking, you know, he's gonna put the strength in us to fight these motherfuckers. Like, as far as, like, and I'm not talking about no physical shit. If it comes to it, it just comes to it. But, you know, that's all a part of the fucking changing shit. Like, you know, the reality is, and it's fucking, you know, as heinous, as fucked up, and as crazy as it might sound. And this, you know, you might not think that this is like some revolutionary shit, but for us to be going up against this type of shit, like, this is like some real revolutionary shit. Like, this is, you know, and, you know, no real fucking deep shit like this is changed without people, you know, if these people aren't gonna come to their senses and shit, and they're gonna keep doing this and they're not gonna stop, Like, this shit is not gonna stop without bloodshed. And I'm not promoting that anybody do anything crazy and shit. And because you wouldn't be able to do it alone. Like, you wouldn't be able to do this shit alone and get away with it. Anyways, it would have to be a group effort. But, you know, the only way to stop shit like this is through bloodshed, man. That's the only way to stop shit like this. And I'm not saying, I'm just saying that's worst case scenario. That's worst case scenario is the only way you can stop something like this. These people are literally getting, like, these people are feeding their families, they're putting their kids through college. You feel me? These people aren't gonna let this fucking shit go too easy. Like, they're sitting on their asses pretty much and fucking, they're creating generational fucking wealth off of us, because not only are they fucking harassing us, they got their fucking kids harassing, everybody in their fucking families harassing us. So you gotta imagine, it's not only one person in that household fucking making this type of money, you know, it's the whole fucking household. That's why, you know, and this ain't no racist shit, but, you know, Asians are fucking smart, man. They capitalize off fucking shit. And that's why, you know, it be fucking a bunch of fucking Asians fucking harassing me doing this shit. Hispanics as well. I mean, everybody. It's not limited to any fucking race. But I'm saying, like, you know, there are people who are smart out there who are fucking capitalizing off this shit, and they know they're creating generational wealth, and this is something they love to do. Like, this is something that's not fucking, it's not fucking hard. Like, it's not fucking hard, and the government backs it. The government is backing them. They're literally bulletproof. You know, they can't fucking get in trouble. Like, the shit they do, their harassment, all their psychological shit they throw on you, it's like they're not getting in trouble. They know they won't get in trouble for it. You know, so fuck, man. Fuck, bro. Yeah, man, a program like this, you know, videos and shit videos and shit are good, man. They reach out, you know, and I can't say this enough. Videos are great. They reach out, you know, they let people know that they're not alone. You know, they keep us grounded. Like, we know, you know, we can, you know, we can tune into different targeted individuals and shit. Like we have a network going to keep us fucking pretty much fucking sane and shit. But as far as stopping this shit, it's gonna take more than videos. It's gonna take more than videos, and it's gonna take more than sitting and waiting for a miracle. Because, as far as I know, this program has been going on for years, and fucking years, and fucking years. You know, there's been people in this program that have told me they've been in this program for 23 years, so 24 and 25 fucking years. There was one chick that said she was in it for 30 years. So, I am not going to be the one to sit and wait and think that some fucking president is going to come and save me. I'm not going to be the one to sit and wait and think that, you know, these videos are going to save me. Like, we got to be, like, realistic. We got to literally be real fucking realistic. And at the very least, because ain't no rally gonna do it either. Ain't no one day a year fucking rally, or one fucking, or maybe 3 rallies a year. That shit ain't gonna do nothing as far as trying to get us out this fucking shit. You know, it's good to come together and all that shit. You know, get some type of fucking freedom amongst each other. But that shit ain't gonna do nothing for stopping this program. Like, you know, and I don't want to be seeming negative and sounding negative and shit, but for, you know, you can't fucking think like that. You can't think that, you know, one day you can't be thinking like that, man, because you set yourself up for failures and shit. You set yourself up for fucked up shit mentally and shit like that. Depression and, you know, damn, I thought this was gonna be the president to get us off the shit. I fell into that fucking trap. Like, I just knew fucking Trump was and you know, I just knew fucking Trump it's legitimate. I just knew Trump was gonna come save the fucking day. He wasn't taking nobody's money. He wasn't with these corporations and shit. I just fucking knew he was gonna save the day. But, right. You know. I guess you just learn, man. You learn. We gotta learn, man. One of these days. Cause I know it ain't easy to fucking go through this shit. It ain't easy to know that we're up against the police. We're up against fucking, you know, all these high authorities and shit. Like, nobody wants to go up against these motherfuckers. And they know it. They know it. They know the majority of us are like, fuck, man. Like, we're in a catch-22. Our fucking, you know, our fucking rights are legitimately being fucking treated like shit wiped. Like, they're wiping us with our rights. You know, to live like a regular human being and shit. Like, we're constantly, you know, they're literally, you know, shitting on our Constitution, pretty much. So nobody wants to fucking go up against these motherfuckers, but it's like, what fucking choice do you want to keep living like this? Do you want to fucking keep dealing with these fucking piece of shit motherfuckers, man? Every day you come out your house, motherfucker coming out their house because they got cameras and shit all in your fucking house and watching you take a shit, watching you have relations with your loved one or whatever. You know, you can't even wipe your motherfucking ass without, you know, your next door neighbors. They don't have to peek in the windows these days. They got cameras in your house and shit. You leave your house, they put cameras in that motherfucker. You know, or whatever fucking, by whatever means they use. You know, you have no fucking privacy or none of that shit. And it's one thing for the government to be peeking in on you and shit. Like, that's bad enough, but, you know, for the average everyday fucking neighbor and shit, you don't know who the fuck your neighbor is. Child molester, fucking pervert, you know, it's a lot of fucking sick people out there, man. And we live all around them. We don't think about it because we don't know about it. But, you know, if we knew about it, like if we knew that fucking every other fucking house was a child molester or fucking some sicko or some, you know, you think about that type of shit and you're more cautious about it. But, you know, when you don't think about that shit, and these people do, they live all around us, man. You pull up, you get one of those fucking child molester apps. You get one of those fucking predator apps and download a predator app to see who's in your fucking neighborhood. You'll see hella arrows and shit. You'll see arrows for days, man. You'll be like, damn, I never knew this fucking many fucking this many fucking, you know, fucking weirdos existed and shit. Child molesters, rapists, fucking, you know, all this fucking shit. a statutory 50 years old messing with a 17-year-old and all this fucking weird shit. You know? I guarantee you, if you knew how many fucking, if you only knew how many fucking predators live around you. If you only fucking knew. In some cases, they have houses full of them. You know, the houses that they used to have for fucking parolees and convicts just getting out of jail, like work furloughs and shit. You know, they used to put, like, just coming out and shit, if, you know, you could get into work furlough, and the prison system would help you get a job and shit, but you be on the streets, but you know, they help you get ready for the streets. Like, you still be subjected to staying in this fucking facility because it's a work furlough, but it's like a career center almost. Like, they help you get a job, fill out resumes and all that shit. You just live out here on the streets, but you have to come in by a certain time and all that fucking bullshit. Like, but yeah, all those have fucking been taken over by fucking child molesters and shit. Like, there's no real opportunity for anybody coming out of prison anymore because fucking sexual predators have taken over the work furloughs. So in some cases, you got a house with, say it's a 5-bedroom house, 6-bedroom house, 3 people to a room. In some cases, 4 people to a room. They have bunk beds and shit. And you know, you do the math on that, and this is how many fucking sexual predators you have in one house. And, you know, it's just really fucking, you don't know who the fuck is around you and shit unless you really, you know, research into that, because the police ain't gonna tell you. Neighborhood Watch knows. They know. Neighborhood Watch knows for sure. But as far as the regular person, if you ain't hooked up in that club, man, if you ain't in that club, you ain't gonna know shit. Yeah, so saying all that to say, like, the only way, at the very least, it's gonna take, like, some Black Lives Matter shit. Like, we're literally gonna have to take to the streets, not necessarily burn up buildings and all that shit, but, you know, we're gonna have to literally take to the streets, man, stop traffic, and be prepared to take them rubber bullets and that mace and that fucking whatever they shoot at you and shit. Like, you know, it's not gonna kill you at the you know, this is about fucking, you know, this is about our families and shit. It's not just about us and shit. And if, you know, if motherfuckers can go to war, if soldiers can go to war to protect people, you know, I'm talking about legitimate soldiers. I'm not even sure if it's any type of legitimate soldiers anymore. Like, I think that shit died off. Like, I think all soldiers are just yes men now. Nobody's really going, you know, the motherfuckers want to go kill people. Like, that's pretty much what, you know, it's not about, you know, protecting the citizenship or rights of people. None of that shit. Definitely not about that. And, but yeah, if soldiers can go to war and fight for people they don't even know, fight for their families as well as people they don't even know, then we should be able to fucking, you know, go to war with these motherfuckers for our families and for ourselves and shit. Like, you know, for the rights, for our rights and shit. Like, literally, this is their you know, they're stepping on our Constitution, and this is what, you know, our fallen soldiers, our fallen family members, even some of their fallen family members literally died for our fucking freedoms and shit that these fuckers are snatching away from us. And, you know, if you want to be realistic, you know, you can protect yourself against all domestic terrorists or foreign. That's what they say. That's what the fuck they say. If you could take pictures throughout the day, people license plates. Oh yeah, that's another thing. Like, if you guys can get that too. I know RTTI was doing it for me for a while. When I was in Sacramento, I got a lot of license plates and shit. And RTTI, you know, he looked them up for me and shit. And a lot of them were like, you know, like, it was even one person from like San Jose that came. It was a person out here from San Jose, and he had a family member in Sacramento that both had the same last name and shit. And these two people were following me on the freeway with one headlight and shit. Like, these two people were following me on the freeway with one headlight, and he looked up their license plates, and they were family members, one from Sacramento and one from San Jose and shit. Like, that's how well connected these motherfuckers are, man. So yeah, saying all that to say, you can look up, and if they don't have no information about them, they're usually like police. They're police, or they're you know, the relatives of police. But that's a very good thing to do, is look up their license plates and keep documentation on their license plate, because there's an app that you know, you take their license plate down, and it tells you everything about them. Like, you can get their fucking you can get their readout and shit. So, like, you know, and there's other ways. Like, you find out shit about these people. You find out shit about these fucking people. Just like, you know, it's not, you know, information is out there. You get their names. You fucking, you know, you get those apps, and you throw their fucking names in those apps, especially your fucking neighbors and shit. Your neighbors want to play games. You get their fucking license plate, and you fucking get their fucking names, and you look and do an internet search, and you find out all the fucking dirt on them, everything they've been arrested for. And you do a fucking printout of that shit. And you drop that shit on their fucking doorstep. So you tell them, yeah, I know about you. Can you pull a printout on me, motherfucker? You get... I bet you can't pull out a printout like this on me. Yeah, you're the one fucking harassing and following me. Oh, that's the type of shit you do to these motherfuckers, man. You find out the dirt that they've been doing. All this false shit that they throw on us, all this fucking bullshit, you know, you find out everything you can about these I wish, like, if I could do that shit, like, if I had the access to do that shit, like, I would do that shit. Like, I would fucking, all of them, all the one headlights, all the, you know, any type of vehicular harassment type of thing. You know, sometimes they have fake license plates, but, you know, even that, even if you get a bunch of people with fake license plates and shit, you can still show a pattern of fucking harassment. You can either show a pattern of harassment, it can be considered a pattern of harassment, or considered that the police aren't doing their job. Or both. Because if the police are letting people fucking ride around here with fucking fake license plates, and they got all these fucking license plate readers and shit fucking funded to them and shit with taxpayers' money and shit, and they're not putting those license plate readers to use, then what the fuck are we giving them our tax money for? So there's different ways. There's different ways like that being able to read their license plates, you know, getting a pattern, like that's actually a fucking good way of proving a pattern of fucking harassment. If you got regular fucking citizens and shit following you with fake license plate, you can create a pattern of harassment right there. There's no way, unless you're a magnet to attract fucking people with fake license plates, or you're a magnet to attract people with one head. Like that's the shit that we need to focus on. The one headlights, the fake license plates, and all that shit. Like that's the shit that's the shit that we can prove beyond reasonable doubt. Complete harassment. But the coughing, the sneezing, the hair wipes, all the smoke and mirror shit, that shit ain't gonna get us nowhere except looking crazy. Even though we know we're not crazy and we know they're directing that shit at us, the average person just isn't. The person who hasn't been sensitized to anything in their lives, most people who haven't been sensitized don't even know what that fucking word means. Like, they don't know what sensitized means. So, if they don't even know what it means, it's gonna be hard to get them to fucking understand the sneezing and the coughing and shit. Like, that's just everyday shit. But the following you around and all that shit with one headlight, the fake license plates and all that shit, that's beyond reasonable doubt. Like, there's no getting out of that. You can't wiggle there. They can't wiggle out of that. And that's why they throw so many smoking mirrors around us. They want us to fucking, they want us to be antsy and shit. They want us to fucking be all freaked out and lift up our camera to every fucking thing we see and shit, to where excuse me. They want us to lift up our camera and shit to everything we fucking see and shit. So, like, when we try and explain it and show it to people, it's all over the place. We got a person coughing here. We got a person wiping their hair here. We got a person doing this. We got a person doing that. And we know it's harassment. And we see the harassment in it. But they can't see the harassment in it. And I know, and at first it was hard for me to understand that. But then I had to really just, like, fucking slow down and put myself in the person who's listening to the story's shoes. And, when we're all over the place like that, and a person will cough, a person, you'll walk by a person, like, for me, in the beginning, I used to be on them, like, I'll walk by and they'll cough and I'll fucking get the camera on and be like, man, why are you harassing me? Like, why, when I walk by, you coughing shit? And they'd be like, what are you talking about, man? I can't call, like, and it, you sit and you think about that shit, and you be like, damn, man. The average person is not gonna fucking, cause you start, you see even though it's really happening to you and shit, you can see from the point of view of the other people, like, yeah, this shit does seem kind of crazy. Like, I've looked back at me, I've even taken down, I've taken down a lot of videos, like, I've taken down a lot of videos that you know, of like the smoke and mirrors and all that shit, because it's just not, you know, it's not in the, and they know it. They know it. They know that people will never fucking get it. And they know that if we're antsy enough to fucking film everything, like, you know, it'll be easier to make us seem crazy and shit. It'll be easier to make us seem crazy. So we just gotta slow down and be like getting everything that really fucking, you know, is beyond reasonable doubt. Even like motorcycles and shit. Motorcycles could ride by me all fucking day and I would fucking know. Us, as targeted individuals, we know that motorcycles are highly a part of this fucking shit. But, you know, if motorcycles were riding by me all fucking day, you know, maybe if it was, they were doing it every day, every fucking day, then people would fucking, you know, be able to see. But, you know, if they're riding past me throughout the day, like all day throughout the day, that's just another vehicle on the street. Like, they're not meeting me at every fucking corner. They're not, you know, they're more blended into the fucking society's fucking blindness of the program, if you will. If that makes sense. They're more blended into the blindness. You know, this is a very, you know, we know as TRs that this program is deep. But this program is even deeper than we can fucking imagine. Like, we don't know exactly how deep this program is. Like, I mean, we can't comprehend. Like, we know. It's like going to the bottom of the ocean. Like, you know the ocean is deep. You know the ocean is deep. And, you know, if you had your fucking snorkel shit, whatever, they little air tank, you could go that deep. You could go only so far, you know. You could only go so fucking far. But you're not going to be able to get to the bottom of that fucking... You're not going to be able to get to the bottom of that fucking ocean and shit. Like, you're not, you know, you're not equipped to fucking get to the bottom of the ocean and shit. Like, and like, we don't even have the mentality to be able to be equipped to even understand this fucking program. As we go along, we learn about, you know, the things that we get, but we'll never, and like, we understand the technology, we understand a lot of shit, but we'll never be able to get to the fucking bottom of this shit, if you will. Like, we'll never, I don't even think we'll ever fucking, you know, some people say they know who put us on this, in this program and shit, but for the majority of us, I don't ever think we'll even find out who put us in this fucking shit. You know, I've got so many fucking theories about mine, but I'm just not gonna mind fuck myself and try and pick one out. Like, there's no way, because it's too many, you know, it's too many arguments I've been in with somebody. I mean, I've been in arguments with people. You know, I've lived in neighborhoods where people might not necessarily have liked me and shit. Like, I lived in gated communities and shit like that, where it was a, you know, I guess a certain fucking, I don't know what you would call it, like a certain status of fucking people, like, you know, I've lived in fucking, like, those type of neighborhoods where they would not necessarily take to me, and, you know, they got all these fucking new cars and shit, and I'm driving up in, like, some 72 Cutlass and shit, and fucking starting my car up in the morning, and it's all fucking loud and shit. Like, so it's fucking, you know, it's no telling. It's no telling who would have fucking, you know, it's no telling. I got fucking, you know, tattoos and shit of shit that, you know, police or some people might not necessarily like and shit. You know, I even had a police officer. Not a police officer. I had a correctional officer. Like, there was a fight, and this is when my tattoo was fresh. It's a tattoo of a fist, a black fist hanging. It's a black fist holding a rope, and the rope is hanging a Klansman. So, you know, there's a fight. There was a fight, and this is when I just got the tattoo and shit. And there was a fight in the prison. It wasn't no riot or anything. It was just a fight. Somebody got beat up, and, you know, his face was all split up and shit. So when they came and did count to make, you know, they have. Wait for this car. They have specific times designated for count time and shit. So they come and count, you know, the facility, and you know, make sure everybody's there and nobody escaped. And you know, so you gotta stand while they count. And so the officer goes around and he counts and he sees the dude's face and shit. And, you know, they pull him out. And then after they pull him out, you know, they do the routine shit. They fucking come check everybody, your knuckles, and make sure you ain't got no scratches, no fresh scratches, or no fucking, you know, bruises from any type of fights and shit you may have been in and shit. They check everybody. And so, like, they were checking us and shit, and the officer noticed he noticed my tattoo and shit. But he didn't say anything right at that moment. You know, I thought I got away and shit. And so he finished counting shit. And then, you know, next about 15, 20 minutes and shit, you know, they called me over the intercom, and then they harassing me. They're not even, you know, they call us everybody out over the intercom, because they, you know, they're hoping that they can get some type of person to do some confidential snitching and shit. So they'll pull all of us out and fucking, you know, one by one ask us what happened and shit. And so, like, you know, for the first 10, 15 minutes, they're harassing me about that. And then they're like, oh, you don't want to tell me about that, huh? You don't want to tell me what you know, huh? Well, why don't you tell me what you know about that tattoo on your stomach and that fresh tattoo on your stomach? So, I guess he thought he was going to be able to fucking, like, not blackmail, but, you know, get me to fucking divulge some information, because I didn't, you know, you get tattoos and shit, you get extra time. You get extra time, so he thought he was gonna work me out of some information by threatening me with the tattoo and shit. But so anyways, he gave me my little write-up and shit for the tattoo. And he said, and I remember these fucking words, man, like it was yesterday. And ever since I became targeted, you know, it didn't right away kick in. It didn't right away fucking kick in. But as it was fucking going on, and I noticed how this fucking shit was happening, and you know, it started in Sacramento, or I noticed it in Sacramento. So I was getting a lot of those fucking, you know, the skinhead dudes. I was getting a lot of the fucking skinheads in those big ass fucking trucks, like they drive those fucking monster trucks out there, like that's their thing. is fucking like out here. It's like fucking Lexuses and BMWs and shit like that. In Sacramento, it's like fucking big fucking monster trucks and, you know, Rams and that type of shit. And it's so I was getting a lot of fucking skinheads, and you know, as time progressed and I, you know, was going through it for a while, I remember what the fucking cop told me. He said, you know, this tattoo is gonna be following you around for the rest of your fucking life. He said that was not a good idea to get that tattoo. And you know, I didn't think nothing of it when he told me that. Like, you know, I just thought, like, you know, throughout my prison sentences and shit, like every time I had to go to prison and shit, like I was gonna have to fucking deal with the Aryans, and you know, they have their certain cards in there and shit, like, you know, Aryan Brotherhood, or you know, they have different, you know, I don't want to say necessarily racist, because some people are in those cards, like some people that are in those cards aren't racist and shit, but they have to be, you know, they have to fucking ride with that card, because you know that's just the way shit goes. But yeah, like I thought that's what I was thinking they were talking about, like I was gonna have to deal with that type of shit. But you know, I started thinking about that shit as this shit started passing or going on. I was like, man, that was one of my fucking main things in the beginning, thinking why I was going through this shit. Like, that was the main reason I was thinking I was going through this shit. But you know, as time passed by and they throw so many triggers out there, and they act out on past arguments, whether it was like with a relationship, like I might have got into it with someone in a past relationship and shit, and they'll fucking reenact that fucking situation, and you fucking, it guides you into thinking, oh, did this motherfucker, like, did she put me in this program? Like, there was one chick, you know, I don't want to disclose her information or none of that shit, but I was messing with this one chick, and she was like, you know, we got in an argument, and she said, you don't know who I know, like, you don't want to you don't want to fuck with me like that. You don't know who I know. Like, she said something to that extent and shit. And you know, you blow that shit off. You be like, I don't give a fuck who you know. Like, I want to give a fuck who you know. Like, what? Do I look scared of, like, I'm not scared of none of, like, don't threaten me with no shit like that. And you fucking just, you start, it's like triggers and shit. They reenact out your fucking past arguments and shit. And then it's like, damn, did she put me on this shit? Did he put me on this? Damn, it's like they know it's fuck, man. They fucking know every, like, it's like almost like they might have even started the incident and shit. Look at the Amazon, no lights. It's almost like maybe they put you in that relationship and set up that whole fucking argument just for that person to drop that trigger on you, like, I don't know, you don't know who I know. And then they reenact out that shit years and years later, and you reflect on it, and you be like, it's a mind fuck, man. It's a mind fuck when you try and figure out, you know, who put you on this fucking program and shit. Like, yo, like if they don't literally reveal it to you, like, oh man, it's so orchestrated, like, oh man, it's so orchestrated, it's crazy. Sad. It's fucking sad, man. Just to think these people can induce people in your life, like literally hook you up in a relationship, get you set up in a relationship covertly, You know, and you be thinking it's some type of real fucking relationship. Meanwhile, this person is there to create all types of situations and shit so that they can trigger you years later from that same situation. Like, and you know, they can, even with smells, man, like literally, like, since I've been going through this program, I've literally smelled cologne smells, you feel me, and perfume smells that took me way in the fuck back to when I was a kid, man. Like, and it's like sudden. It's like all of a sudden, like somebody will walk past you and it'll be a smell that you haven't smelled in fucking years, but that smell will take you back, right back to, you know, the minute you smelled it. Like, it, I don't know, it'd take you to, like, damn, my grade school teacher used to wear that same fucking perfume. That's the same cologne my uncle used to wear. But, you know, they hit you with the smell, so it's sudden, like, you know, I don't know how to explain it, man, but when they first put me in this Target and shit, man, or when they first revealed it to me, like, they used a lot of fucking smells on me, like, you know, I don't know how in the fuck they did that shit. I don't know how in the fuck they did that shit, but it was like a time warp. Like, they would walk by me, I'd smell it, and it took me back to the exact same moment I fucking smelled that shit, whether it was a kid, whether I was fucking locked up, whatever situation that I smelt it in, like, it would take me way back to that fucking situation. Like, I don't know how that shit worked, man, but it sounds crazy, but it's real, man, and I don't know how the fuck these people do that shit, man. It's like they have you in a silent hypnosis and shit. Like, it's almost like they've been working on us. Like, they literally have been working on us, and fucking our life has been like a fucking stage presented by them. Our life has been a stage presented by them, conducted by them, pretty much controlled by them. Every day was a setup. Every day was building up to the very day that we realize that we're a target. And then they throw everything in our past life, or, you know, before us being targets. Like, they throw up everything in the past, they throw that shit at you. And they do it strategically to a point to where it doesn't even seem real. Like, this shit doesn't even seem real. Like, literally 11 years has passed by. 11 years of me doing the same shit every day. No, I mean, whether I'm in Sacramento or wherever I'm at, you know, me doing the same shit and fucking, it's heavy as the harassment. You know, I'm not taking anything away from the harassment and shit, because the harassment is heavy. But it just, 11 years has fucking gone down the drain. Like, it doesn't even seem like 11 years. Like, 11 years has went by like fucking that. Literally. And I just think, man, 11 more years of this shit, if 11 more years goes by just like that, fuck, man. Where the fuck am I gonna be at in 11 years, man? Shit. I mean, I'll never, you know, knock on wood, I don't know how powerful the devices are. Like, they're literally gonna have to use some fucking military weaponry to fucking just make me fucking give up on life and make me, you know, I'll be walking around this motherfucker with shit and piss all on me and all that shit. Like, you know, it'll take a military device for that, because they're not gonna be able to do it off their little fucking bullshit little strategic bullshit, but just fuck, man. You know, we can only say, man, that we're gonna try not to do anything to these people. We can only say, you know, everything's gonna fucking come into place soon. Like, pretty soon this is gonna be over with. We can always say that shit. But the reality is, man, this shit has been going on for years. And for us to think that it's gonna stop anytime soon, without us going hard, without us fucking pushing the envelope, if we don't push the envelope on this shit, it ain't gonna get pushed. And if it does get pushed, it's gonna be long after I'm dead. It's gonna be long after we're all dead. Like, you know, it's probably gonna go on for another 30, 40 fucking years. If you know, until whatever generation decides to fucking go up against this shit, you know, to whichever generation of us decides to fucking go up against this shit, well, I mean, full force. Like, this shit ain't gonna stop. And unfortunately, you know, we're gonna leave our baggage. We're gonna leave our baggage over to our fucking, you know, descendants, if you will. I don't know how you would, you know, our seeds and family members and all that shit. Like, you know, these people thrive off of what they do. It's almost like a form of survival for them, it seems like. It's almost like they're, you know how people say energy vampires and shit? Like, it's almost like they need this energy to survive and shit. Like, definitely feels like a different entity. These people don't feel human at all. Like, they don't give me no humanly vibes. Like, they're very dark, sinister people. Very sinister. I know this ain't no one head like